All right, hey y'all. So I don't know why I feel the need to tell y'all what I'm doing every time I come on here, but I'm just sitting in the parent pickup line until waiting on my child. And I said I got a couple extra minutes, so let me come be nosy, right? So I was picking up on some people are who may be new to co-parenting because I was picking up on someone who was like worried about how someone is handling the day to day of being a parent or like just the simple process. It's like, do they know this or how to do this or put this together, and just the ins and outs. I was picking up on somebody who was worried. But I feel like you're gonna have to let this other parent develop their own process. So that was for somebody. Also, okay, so I stopped at exactly 111. But anyways, so the first two cards that came out. Oh, when I was shuffling, I seen good news and I seen two faced in reverse. And I feel like that kind of ties into some of this energy that's been coming in about someone finally confessing. I feel like this is like dropping a mask and kind of being honest and being vulnerable about how they feel or about how you feel. This is you. Um, but it felt light, airy. It felt, so it didn't feel heavy. But now I'm wondering, like, would it be in light and heavy? I mean, would it be in light and airy? Is it grounded? But anyway, I didn't channel into that energy, so whatever. So, but it did come out as good news, and it did come out on a card that felt light and airy. So when I shuffled, I got the needy card and daydream, and I feel like with this energy, this is about becoming aware of what it is that you need. This is about becoming aware of your own standards. This is about um, having the excuse me, sorry. You know what? Because I was gonna say that ties into the energy because I couldn't stop that. Like that came out of nowhere. But that's just real life. Okay, what's the name of this deck? Life happens. Anyways, so I feel like this is like figuring out first of all you had to figure out what you were making, aka figuring out what you wanted. Then you could figure out the proper ingredients to make that specific thing, right? Because I feel like before it was just like if somebody would ask you, oh, what you want to eat or oh, it don't matter. And then when they come, now this is not about food. Okay. And then when they come with whatever, it's just like, oh, I didn't really want this, I didn't really want that, or this was two. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I've been wanting this, I've been wanting, I want this, or I want that, or I want less of this, I want more of that. But I feel like this had to come by way of, I just got the image of like a bunch of loaves of bread in the trash because you needed more of this or less of that, or it's a baking scenario or example, but this is about life, this is about choices, this is about relationships. And I feel like in the past, because when I clarified, we had feminine energy in reverse. Now, this is not gender specific. Desperate in reverse and crisis. So that makes me feel like in the past, like I said, you were just kind of taking whatever you may not have had, like I said, the awareness of self to even know what you wanted. You may have not been secure enough to ask for what you needed because you may have felt like, I don't want to be needy. Somebody could have made you feel like what you were asking for was asking for too much. You feel me? And then you realize, I'm not asking for too much. I just need to throw this loaf of bread away and try again. Okay? So I feel like, and because of that, in the past situations, moving out of desperation, you probably ended up in a lot of crisis situations, a lot of situations where you're just like, damn, all I asked for was the bare minimum, and that's exactly what the fuck you got. Okay, and I feel like, especially with feminine energy in reverse and desperate in reverse, if you are not confident, if you are not self-aware, if you are not loving on yourself, you're just gonna put up with anything. You'll put up with anything. And I feel like in this space, this is the total opposite. I feel like in this space, this is like, no, I got needs and they need to be met. Period. Point blank. Okay. So I feel like this is spirit acknowledging the process that you had to go through. Oh, okay, so maybe you are in a space where it's just like, oh yeah, because there was heartbroken at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so maybe you are in a space where it's just like, okay, how can I explain this? Hold on. Okay, so maybe you are in a space where you may be feeling kind of jaded, if that's the proper word. Um, and it's just like this is not the time to be jaded. To be honest, I know that's easier said than done. Okay, which is why self care was coming out in the past readings. You gotta, but 318, 318. Look that up. That might be significant because it's 318 and today is 318. But yeah, let me not lose my train of thought. Oh, you might be at a point where, okay, this is not the time to feel jaded because this is actually the time for you to receive. And spirit is telling you you had to go through all of the people in the situations that did not work in order for you to learn what would work. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna get it right on the first try. You're not. And you may have had to, like I said, all the loaves of bread that was in the garbage. Yeah, but now you're a master fucking baker. You see what I'm saying? Now you can open up a whole business. Now you got your own shop. But if you had never fucked up them other loaves of bread, you would have never mastered your craft. You would have never mastered your recipe. Okay, so honor yourself and the things that you need, and also honor and give gratitude. To be honest, for the process of getting you here, because if you hadn't gone through what you've gone through, you would still